is awesome. That's awesome.
Bueno, entonces los dejamos a ustedes con ellas.
Yeah, I just wanted to check it out.
Are you a Demon Slayer fan?
Huh?
Are you a Demon Slayer fan?
I'm just a comic fan.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode, and this time we'll be taking a look back at the time I did the Arlington Comic Fest for the second year in a row. But this time the result was very different. But you know, I always have to start my mornings with my cup of joe, right? So I always have my almond milk and with my cinnamon, and you know, I am a broken record. I do this all the time. There's no, you know, everyone has their morning routines and their morning rituals. For me, I have to have my coffee. But because this is the morning of the event, I am not working out. So no, I don't have the time to actually work out during the days of the show. So here is just really just getting ready to have my coffee. So Arlington Comic Fest, just to give you an idea, I did it the year prior, and it was a good showing. I didn't like my location, but it was a good showing, a good turnout. I had a good crowd. So I said, okay, it wasn't my best show, but it was something, it was small enough where I said, okay, I'll do it again next year. Let's see what happens. And the following year, lots have changed. I had a better location. I've already met a lot of cool creators, so I'd be doing the show with creators like Laurie Calcaterra and Paul Gomez and his son Dylan, and a fantastic artist and illustrator, comic book illustrator. His name is Marco. His artwork is just fantastic. So from that aspect, you know, just being able to hang out with friends, I thought that would be really cool. And then we were doing some sort of cross promotional thing, which I'll tell you whether or not it worked or not. So that was the reason why I did it. And so I'll share with you throughout this video pros and cons and whether or not I will do it again. But I have to start off the mornings with my dogs and making sure that they all get their dental work. And it's important for them. So because I have one large dog, which is a Shepherd Wolfhound mix, and then the rest all small. I have a Yorkie, I have a Shih Tzu, I have a Chiweenie and a Chihuahua, right? So that's why I'm cutting the dental bones for the small ones, so they don't choke on them. Because I have my Yorkie who very sensitive, small pipes, so he tends to choke on any large objects, and so I have to cut him for him. His name is Milo, and this is every day. So they get their dental, they get their dental liquids, in their water, in their drink, just to keep their teeth nice and healthy. And they get this before I feed them. So it's just like us, we have to brush our teeth in the morning, we floss every day, all those things. Same things with your animals. You got to make sure that they do the same thing, because they don't like when I try to brush their teeth. And a couple of them try to bite me. So this is an easier way for me to protect myself from the bites and give them their morning dental. Alright, so it's that time of year, and this is Mr. B, Mr. Bentley. He's also a rescue, and I don't let anybody groom him but myself, because he was abused from the owners that we got him from. He was abused. He was thrown down the stairs. His tail was broken, and he has this thing with women. He's gotten a lot better over the years. So I groom him myself, and it's one of those things that we have fun doing. And I knew that it's warm, and the coat is a little too heavy, so I wanted to make him more comfortable. And this is actually very relaxing. I love this part. And I think it's like every 3 months. So I think I groom him about 4 times a year. And this is a time where he and I just get to bond, and it's such a relaxing time for me. And but every single one of my fur balls are rescues. They've all come from different dire circumstances, and I'm just so happy that we are able to provide them with safety and a home. And he has such a personality. He's playful. He's full of life. He's very protective. Where I go, he goes. If I'm in the bathroom, he's standing inside the bathroom facing the door. If I'm sleeping, he's at the end of the bed staring at the doors. Wherever he is, he's always looking at the doors, almost like security detail. It's the most fascinating thing to see. I truly, truly love him. And so this is just our bonding time. And it's one of those things I had on my list to get done. So I needed to change my top to be able to try not to get as much hair on me as possible. The setup on the table is a really big, giant piece of plastic that's covering my island. And that's where I cut his hair. Then afterwards, to clean up, it's the vacuum comes out. We throw away the plastic, and then we vacuum everything up, and then we take some antibacterial spray, clean up everything, and then give him a bath, because I cut his hair first and then I bathe him. How when you go to I guess for humans, when we go to a barber they always wash our hair first. But with Bentley, I don't wash his hair first because I won't be able to cut it, and because I'm using clippers. So I cut his hair first, and then I bathe him. But this is just all part of the fun. Okay, so you've heard me say it before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it over and over. To save money when you're independent, and this isn't your means of income, like you have a full-time job and then you do this on the side. Anytime you can save money and cut costs is important. So I try to always pack lunches. And because my wife is going with me, she can only have anything that's gluten-free, right? Because she has celiac, right? So I have to make certain that I prepare lunches for her, because there's never any gluten-free options at conventions. And so even the mayo, right? It's an extra virgin avocado mayo, which is gluten-free. And it's just turkey on gluten-free bread. And I try to always pack every time we go. Now, I, on the other hand, can have both. Most of the things in our home is gluten-free, but when I go to conventions, sometimes, you smell what's cooking. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? And so sometimes I get the urge. Like, I love popcorn. And if a convention, they have popcorn that's freshly being made, and the smell of it, you have me every single time. On occasion, if there's something different that maybe I don't have in my bag, I'll cheat, especially if they're long days. So I normally just pack me one sandwich each, fruit for her. So I'll bring a banana for her, some tangerines. We'll have almonds, normally chocolate covered almonds, like dark chocolate covered almonds. I'll have, she likes pink lemonade, so I'll have that for her. I'll have me a kombucha drink, which is like an antioxidant drink, and I'll have an espresso drink, whether it's a Starbucks or something. Sometimes I'll get a protein coffee drink, and then this time we'll have grapes. So I try to take enough for her to be able to snack on, because I can go through 5 hours with just a cup of coffee, and maybe some crackers, right? So, and I also take her protein bars. So she has the macro bars, they're called, which is what she loves, and she gets the dark chocolate peanut butter ones. But if you want to save money, take your own lunch. It's easier. This little bag that I have right here has in it 2 water bottles, my espresso protein drink, a kombucha, her lemonade, 2 sandwiches, grapes. It has the dark chocolate almonds. It has a couple of tangerines. It has her macro bars, all in that little bag that's sitting on that counter. You'd be surprised, because it's it's not a hard lunch bag cooler, but it's a cooler bag combo, so it keeps everything nice and cold. So what I normally do is I'll put 2 bottles of water in the freezer overnight, and I put them at the bottom of the cooler bag, because that'll stay like that all day, and it'll keep everything in there at a good temperature. Where, like, because you have mayo and you have a turkey, so sandwich, you don't want it to get all goofy and stuff.
Alright, good morning, guys. So it's the morning of the Arlington Comic Fest. We're locked and loaded, we're ready to go. So things that I want to accomplish today. I partnered with Paul Gomez and Lori Calcaterra. They're both local artists in Texas, and they both have their own comic books. So we created a map, almost like a scavenger hunt, to try to create some excitement and get people to support all 3 of us. And when they come to each of our tables, they'll get something free when they make a purchase. So we're doing that. Last year, I fell short of 300. I'm hoping to do as close to 5, so we'll see how we do. So I'm gonna have fun and hopefully drive some traffic to the Kickstarter. So stay tuned for the recap at the end, where I break down pros and cons and what worked this year versus last year. So wish us luck. The weather looks like it's holding up. We're getting getting ready to ride and hit the road. Talk to you guys soon.
So the routine never ends, right? As much work as it is to pack, travel, unpack, set up, take down, pack, travel, it's there's no better feeling, because it's another step towards sharing what I love to do with people who've never met me, people who've never heard of Duty, people who've never heard of my books, whether they're my children's books or Forbidden or The Crazies or Cosmic Wars, anything that I've done. And it's just allowing me to be able to connect with so many people. So this part of the process, while it seems like it's tedious and it's laborious and it sometimes it's painstaking and it takes a lot of time, it's fun. Like, I actually enjoy it because every setup looks a little different than the previous one. And it's because each event I take and I learn something new, whether it's from my colleagues to my left or my right, or at the event, or from trial and error, just from learning from how people are attracted to my table or not, and how they respond to displays. So I try to do something different each and every time, just a little bit, not too crazy. But as you can see from the previous episodes, my setup has evolved from convention to convention. So this convention I had a lot of high hopes for. I was excited about it. You know, I loved my table. It's right at the entrance, so as soon as you come in, you know, we're the first table that you see from coming in. So, you know, I had nothing but good feelings about it. Who would have known? Who would have known? But it's part of the process. There's no better time to tell you about my appearances in Texas this year. That's going to be fun. I start off in Oklahoma at Texoma, which is going to be fun in February. See you there. Then right after that, I'm heading over to Central Texas Comic Con, and that's going to be so much fun. That's in Waco. Then I'll be at Comic Palooza, which will be in Houston, and that's in May. I'm hoping to see you there. Then Superhero Comic Con in San Antonio, Texas in June, and then I will be at College Station Comic Con in September. I hope to see you there. Okay, as promised, I said I would recap the event. Now, as I stated earlier, I had high hopes. gave it the benefit of the doubt. The previous year we did okay. And I said, all right, maybe it's just a one-off and let's try it again this year. The challenge with this year was that they scheduled the event during the same time that they had the big Texas carnival. I forgot what it's called, but it's a big event in Texas. People come from all over just to go to this this carnival, and it lasts for like an entire month, and it's amazing, right? And so it was competing with that. So I saw the traffic heading to that theme park or whatever you call it, and I'll get the name right. But so that scared me. Then when we got there, and you saw when I walked around the event, it was all exhibitors or cosplayers, and maybe a handful of attendees, and that was very discouraging. So I knew immediately, oh, this is going to be a rough one, and I was going to take a loss. And that is exactly what happened. I think every single one of us took a loss. In fact, some of the celebrity guests, in fact, all of them, they all said it was their worst event ever financially. So it cost more to do this event. I didn't make back the event. I made back probably the table cost, but that's it. I didn't make back the travel cost. I didn't make back the cost of the promo trading cards or the printing of new stuff for this event, the food. So it was, and making back the table cost meant I had to really work, because you would go hours without someone walking past your table. And so I spent time talking to fellow exhibitors. There was an incident where a couple of exhibitors, one exhibitor called management and security on another exhibitor because they were talking too much, and it was just it's a bad show when you are getting annoyed by somebody talking too much, or didn't like the conversation that was being had. Well, I understand the frustration because they were hot topics. It was just interesting to see what was happening, but that's to be expected when no one's making money and you're sitting there and your whole weekend is just now ruined. So how do you make the best of something like that? What I did was I socialized, I spent time with my wife, I talked to as many people as I could when I found them. We did manage to sell some product, and again, you just have to make the best of it. So that was that. Will I be doing it again next year? Absolutely not. I'm not doing it. The first year was lackluster. It was okay. The second year was a bomb. Next year, I'm actually doing other events. Actually, this year, 2024, I'm doing a lot of new events. So, and you saw them in the beginning of this. So I want to take the time to answer some questions that I received on my YouTube channel. So one of the first questions that I received was from Rodecaster. It says, Sam, what is the coolest part of creating the next chapter of Duty? Glad to see you post another awesome video. So thank you for the question. What is the best part? The best part of creating it is telling the story that I want to tell, completing the project. That's the second part, and I guess more importantly, the fact that people keep coming back and want to read the follow-ups. Those are the best parts. And then what I find is that duties continue to evolve over the years, and so I am having fun with all the characters. Like Patrick wasn't part of the storyline when I first created Duty in 2005, and Patrick you see on the screen is now a part of the story, a supporting cast member. So is Brittany, and there's a lot of new characters that I wind up adding to the story over the years to really close the gaps and fill it and add some more substance to it and add some more of the comedic aspect to the story. So the best part is really creating it, and the fact that everyone keeps coming back for more, that's picked it up, and that's really you can't ask for anything more, right? And then got another question. Where is it? The other question is from Lucky Black Cat 13. how are you so good at drawing? So, Lucky Cat is funny because I don't ever think that I'm where I need to be or where I want to be as an artist, but I draw every day. That's the only thing I can say. And I pick up a lot of art of books. I am so influenced and inspired by other creators, whether they're known or unknown. So, it's funny. There are people who will not pick up my book because I'm an unknown, right? They'll rather go and spend the money on who they know in the market, and I don't take offense to that. But it's also curious, right? Because the moment that there's press on duty and it gets limelight, then all of a sudden people want to pick it up. Oh, I never picked it up. Let me get a copy. It looks like it's about to blow up, right? So, what I would say as far as drawing and getting better, it's a matter of taste. Because while you say that I'm getting better, some other people might not even think my style is good enough, right? So I do appreciate your comment and your feedback, but what I would recommend is draw every day, have fun drawing, and learn from others. I watched a video with David Finch where they were studying another artist, Ryan Otley, who did Invincible, and they were trying to recreate some of the poses that Ryan Otley puts his characters in, and they were studying that. And David Finch, who's a fantastic, amazing artist, he has a Kickstarter going, which is he raised over $130,000 already. He's known in the industry; everyone wants his stuff, but he's still learning. You know what I mean? So, and he acknowledges that, which is fascinating to me. And I think that's what's the great thing about it is that the moment you feel like you're not learning anymore, it's when I think it's time for you to stop, right? And that's the great thing about art. And for all the questions about where am I going to be, I answer that in the middle of this show. I will be at Texoma Comic Con, which is in Oklahoma. That's in February. And then in April, I will be at Central Texas Comic Con, which is in Waco. That's a return. I'm going to Central Texas for the second time. For Texoma is the first time. Then I'm doing Comic Palooza in May, which is my first appearance there, which is awesome. I'll be my booth is next to Marco, who's a fantastic illustrator. He's going to be there. Dan Price is going to be there, who does Bigfoot Knows Karate. It's going to be really fun. And then in June, I'll be doing a Superhero Comic Con in San Antonio, Texas, and that's a first for me there too. So I'll be there. And then in September, I will be at College Station, which is a return. And shout out to everybody from College Station and Waco who's picked up my books. I'll be back there. So with another round of duty. So I'm hoping to see you there. And a lot of really cool stuff. I'll have trading cards. I'll have a coloring book, a sketchbook. So there's going to be a lot of stuff by the time I get to some of those events. And I'm looking forward to reconnecting with a lot of you that have picked up duty and have support this art channel from that aspect. As far as I got a question about when's my next book signing at a comic book shop. I'm working on that now. In fact, I'm working on a few conventions and bookstore signings. So once I have those secured, I will start promoting those dates and share that out with everybody. And more to come on that. Another thing, what kind of tools do I use, right? So this, you see on the screen right there, I'm using Clip Studio Paint. And I am a novice, an aspirant with it. I haven't mastered all of the tools and functions. I feel that I'm a basic colorist compared to some of these talented colorists out there that are like this. They blow my mind on how they do certain things, and so I've only been using Clip Studio for a little over a year now, so I use that. This is a Wacom Cintiq 24 HD tablet that I bought secondhand. I bought it on Facebook Marketplace. It's from a painter who no longer needed it, and so I didn't pay full price for it. So that's what I use. And as far as for the video editing, what do I use? I use Wondershare Filmora, and this is what I use. It's called it does everything I need. Back in the days when I first created the podcast, Catch the Craze podcast and Crazy Comics, I was using some of the professional stuff. I can't even remember the names. I haven't used them so long. But this is such a cost-effective video editing tool that I use. It's easier for me to use this, and it saves a lot of time. I gravitated to this pretty quickly. The other question is, any other books outside of There's an Alien in My Toilet? Any other story? Yes. So if you don't know, I know I promote a lot of Duty because that's my focus right now. But I have a book called Forbidden. It's a fantasy, more adult content. I have a series called Cast the Crazies, which is about my story and my buddy George's story as podcasters in the comic book world with supernaturals. I have a series called Cosmic Wars that's on the back burner right now because I'm focusing on this. I have Duty's Monsters. I have Duty's Adventures, which is a kid's version of Duty. I have ARG, which is a prose. It's a short story book that I wrote. And then I have a series of children's books that I've written, and I've actually commissioned artists to actually draw them. So I do have a pretty huge lineup of stuff that I've done that you'll start seeing me promote more often, but really Duty's been my focus. I really believe that I haven't reached its full potential with promoting There's an Alien in My Toilet, and haven't reached the masses yet, so that's going to be my focus. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Let's go.